How goes it, folks? Jolly Yellow talking to you. I have recently just watched episode 2 of Star Trek Starfleet Academy. Let's go ahead and get into it. So far, I have to say, I very much enjoy the flow of how things are going here. This is a Starfleet that's not at the top of the food chain and being challenged by the Klingons, the Romulans, or some other unknown enemy like the Borg or something. This is a Starfleet that is broken and fractured, and it needs to try and bring itself back together. If any of you are familiar with the older continuity or the older generation of Star Trek materials, TNG, Deep Space Nine, you know that the people of Betazed, they are some of the oldest members or most long-time members of the Federation. So for this episode to be about how Betazed was no longer with the Federation and this was an attempt to bring them back in, I thought that was very interesting in and of itself, because it kind of manages to make things different and shake stuff up a little bit to where it's, hey, one of your oldest allies is no longer your ally. What do you do about it? How do you change the face of the Federation? How do you account for how it seems Federation seemingly abandoned the Betazed people, and now they're coming back offering, well, look, we know what we did, we acknowledge how we left you, but we want to we'd like for you to rejoin us. And the Betazed people held their feet to the fire. They straight up told them, like, look, it's like you abandoned us and did not want us around anymore, or not even that they did not want them around, but they didn't find them enough of a priority to fight for them. And that hurts. This is just a case of, it's almost like two old friends where the relationship went sour because of something one of them did, and now that one that did something is trying to come back into the good graces of the other friend that they did something to. And I very much enjoy this approach because it shows that Starfleet really isn't at the top of the food chain in the ways that you would think or suspect. I'm very interested in how this is going to look in future episodes. I mean, are we going to get the Vulcans coming up and having some sort of relationship? Are we going to suddenly find out that, like, the Federation's on really good terms with species or planets that they once were at odds with in the past series? So that's going to be some interesting contrast, something to maybe shake things up and present it in a new way. And honestly, I'm also starting to think these people out here that are trying to just dump on it, poo-poo it, I don't think they're giving it a chance. Like, I understand there are criticisms of the show, but I don't think you can really criticize Starfleet Academy with just the complaint that it's not like the old stuff. It should not be like the old stuff. Star Trek is about change and progress, and they even talk about it in this very episode. How do you reconcile progress and change? Things cannot stay the same while expecting them to progress and go further and get better. And that's something that I think a lot of these fans that are complaining about Starfleet Academy need to come to terms with. Now, you probably noticed that I was talking about the main, I guess, A plot, I guess you would say. Yes, there is another plot of which Caleb meets a young Betazed girl, and they kind of start their relationship, start their thing going on, their friendship. And yeah, I'm sure that's going to be something that comes up later, but honestly, it doesn't get my interest very much. I am looking very much at like that main story of Starfleet trying to get its stuff back together. Find out what happened with the burn. What was the burn all about? What did it do? What happened to make Starfleet decide, hey, we don't need Starfleet Academy anymore. We need the War Academy. What caused that change? So that's going to be stuff that I'm sure will be revealed over in due time. You folks have a good one. Jolly Yellow out.